The topic of today's life is about men who are promiscuous and are actually dating more than one woman and have a sort of a roster. And this topic, of course, is in the context of abusive men, in the context of the behavior of abusive men who are abusive against their intimate partners. And in my previous videos and lives, I talk about the common traits that abusive men have, like addictions, different type of addictions, emotional problems, being raised in abusive or violent families as kids, etc., etc. So now I'm just continuing this topic about what abusive or narcissistic men have in common, the ones that are aggressive against their intimate partners and are hating women in general. So another common trait is the promiscuity. So these men are rarely, if at all, faithful. They try to get as many women as possible to have intimate encounters with, and they don't really comply or value the concept of being with one and only one woman. Okay, especially, but not only, especially if they have money. So if they have the financial status, that's a high financial status, and can afford actually to have more than one woman, they take any opportunity that presents itself to be intimate with another woman, even though they could be in a relationship. And why would abusive men, would like to handle and date more than one woman? Don't they like to be in exclusive relationships? And if they don't, why? And there's one thing about narcissistic men or abusive men, is that they like to use people to their own advantage and benefit. Women as well. So they could maintain a roster of different women, different girlfriends, and use them for different purposes. So one woman they can use as a trophy or a status symbol for him. Like, okay, if the lady is educated, intelligent, has a good profession, and is professionally realized and has a high status in society, that kind of a woman will be also used and abused, but she will be used for specific purposes, because the narcissistic man will use her for, let's say, present her to his family, to his business partners, to present her in public, because she has a good status. As I said, the intelligent one would be used for that, as a trophy woman to be presented to the public. She may be the official girlfriend, but not the only one. She may be the one that the narcissistic man would, as I say, go out with, show in public, and treat her as the main one, the preferable one. She could be the baby mama, the one that the narcissistic or abusive man would use to build a family with, because he knows that she's also a responsible person. The educated woman, the professionally realized woman, would be the responsible woman as well. So he could count on her, rely on her to raise his kids. So he could use her for that as well. Not only to present her in public, to his friends, co-workers, family, etc., relatives, but also to use her to raise his kids. But as I said, these men rarely, if at all, have only one woman, especially if they're rich. So the other woman will be used for different purposes. The side chick. The side chick is not necessarily, the most intelligent one or the most educated one, but she may be pretty. She may be very appealing to him, very consensual, doing whatever he wants her to do, in bed as well. So he could use her for different purpose, just for, being intimate with her. And that side chick, maybe even not educated, as I said. She could be, the cleaning lady, the lady that he met in the street or in the dating app, that is the woman that he may not be so proud of and willing to show off with her and to present to everybody else, but she has something that he can still use. And in most cases, that's what he can use is something that's related with the intimate area, so he could sleep with her, basically. Right, so continuing the topic about promiscuity. So, as I say, narcissistic men they use everybody around them. Everybody can be used for different purposes, for different reasons, including women. So, as I said, one woman can be used as a status symbol, as a trophy woman. Another woman who he maintains a relationship in parallel could be used only to sleep with him and, let's say, do things in bed that are a little bit more kinky, a little bit more freaky, and maybe the main one, the main girlfriend, may not like to do. Our third woman could be used, for example, just to go to parties with, some beautiful and attractive woman that he would pay her to be a company of that kind of man, to be next to him and just have a nice dinner, or make him accompany to a nice bar or club or some exotic trip, etc., etc. So, as I say, narcissistic, abusive men, when it comes to women and relationships, another common trait that they have is that they try to maintain a pool of girlfriends, which they use for different purposes. And the interesting fact in that kind of promiscuous behavior is that it's only one-sided, okay? So it's kind of a harem, the Muslim term, harem, when one man has multiple wives. It's similar, but these men are not necessarily Muslim, right? They could be of any culture and religion. But this concept is very similar. That's why I give it as an example. So, they expect their girlfriends to be monogamous, faithful. They make sure they control them 100%, so they don't cheat, they don't go out with other men, and keep them staying with him. But on the other hand, the man is never, obviously, is not faithful, because he is maintaining various relationships with various different women. So that's why I'm saying it's a double standard, because his expectation is that his partners are absolutely faithful, 100%, but he has no issues in cheating with any other chick that he has an opportunity to cheat with, Not only these kind of men are opportunistic as well. The abusive and narcissistic men are very opportunistic. So they take any opportunity whatsoever to cheat. It could be in a situation that they didn't plan. I mean, they're outside somewhere and they see a woman, attractive woman. They try to, start speaking with her, flirting with her, and eventually sleeping with her. So they take any opportunity that opens up, or they create the opportunities. They actively are seeking other women to sleep with, to use and abuse. So it's kind of a supply for them. Narcissistic, psychopathic, abusive men who hate women, they, as I say, they use women. They can, present themselves like great gentlemen or, amazing men at the beginning. But what's behind it is definitely something a lot more darker for the woman and a lot more dangerous. And with that, I'm not saying that only narcissistic and abusive or aggressive men are promiscuous, because that's not true. I mean, any kind of man can cheat. But promiscuity is very, very common with abusive men. It's like one of their main characteristics in terms of behavior and in terms of how they relate to women. Any man or any woman, as a matter of fact, can cheat. I mean, that happens all the time. But with them, with the abusive men and narcissistic men, this is so common. This is like absolutely normal. This is just part of their lifestyle. It's not extraordinary situation or a situation, the cheating, I mean. It's not coming because they are unhappy with their marriages or with their relationships. They do it on purpose. Because one reason is, as I said, they try to use women for different purposes, and they realize that one woman cannot satisfy all of his expectations and demands. It's very difficult for one woman to be everything that he expects her to be. To be a great woman, to be beautiful, to be a good mother, to be, freaking bad, and to be everything. I mean, normally it's much easier to find different people for different purposes, and that's what they do. It's absolutely intentional. It's not an impulse. It's not because they were weak and that's why they cheated. It's just an intentional behavior because it benefits this kind of men. And another thing is that, of course, there's no problem, in promiscuity. What I'm trying to say is that There's no problem in a man sleeping with various women as long as these various women understand the deal. They're okay with the deal. They get something in return. They're like, fine, okay, he may not be exclusive with me, but I get something out of it and I'm happy with it. I'm not looking for a serious relationship. This situation is fine with me. And it's in other words, it's consensual. If it's consensual, there is no problem. But with narcissistic and abusive men, they lie a lot, for everything. So they may tell the woman, one of their women, one of their girlfriends, oh, I love you so much, you're the woman of my life, and you're everything that I always search for. And to the next woman, they can say exactly the same thing. With that kind of man, of course, if it's consensual, it's consensual, and both parties are fine. We're talking about adult relationships, so everybody can choose what kind of relationship he or she wants to have, as long as they understand the deal. What I'm trying to say is that many times women don't know the deal. They find out what the deal is later on. They find out that, okay, this honeymoon period when he's amazing and he is very attentive to her and very loving and caring, is just a strategy. It's just a manipulation to hook her emotionally, to make her fall in love with him, so that later on he can use her and she will not say no, she will not leave because she's emotionally involved with that man. So with abusive men and narcissistic men, there's a lot of strategic tactics they use to manipulate women and ultimately use and abuse them, which is the main goal. So that's the topic of this live. I don't know if you guys have any questions. It's very hot here and it's very sunny, and I barely can see the screen of my phone, so it could be a little bit difficult to read your comments, but you can also send me questions or comments after this live, and I will make sure that I answer to all of them if there's something that you're particularly interested in. And yeah, for the ladies, be aware of that kind of man and that kind of behavior. Watch out. And even if you're one of these ladies who like to be in that kind of promiscuous relationships because you're not ready for something more serious or for whatever reason, just watch out that this man could be also abusive. They may just use you, and you have to protect yourself. And when I say protection, I mean any sort of protection, including the one related with the intimate area, when you're dealing with promiscuous men, okay? I know that's common sense, but we women are so conditioned and brainwashed to trust men that we don't know very well, and assume things that later on may not be exactly that. So be aware and protect yourself. And my standpoint about that kind of relationships that are not monogamous, they generally don't benefit so much the woman as they benefit the man, in short and even in long term. But as I say, it's always a matter of choice for both parties involved, and the responsibility that comes out from that choice. So yeah, that was the topic for today. Stay tuned. There will be more topics to talk about and discuss. Bye for now.